Hey guys, Fog here. Welcome to the first ever video on this channel. What I have for you guys today is a Left 4 Dead 2 video. In this video, I played every single mutation, not including any versus, survival, or scavenge mutations. I did most of these in my own time, but I also did do 2 on stream, and will say it was quite eventful. I spent a lot of time working on this, and thank you to myself for editing this big long video, because it was a pain. The footage is over 400 gigabytes in total. Yes, you heard that right. 400 gigabytes total. Anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace. So, I started with Hunting Party. This mutation only has hunters, common infected, tanks, and witches. You are mainly dealing with hunters throughout this entire mutation, but occasionally a tank or witch will spawn. Usually 4 hunters will spawn at a time, but if you're unlucky, your whole team could get pounced and causing a restart. But that didn't happen to me at all during this whole playthrough. I played this on the campaign Hard Rain, so there were plenty of witches to deal with, but I made it through the sugar mill without killing any witches, and I got the Sob Story achievement. I also played this by myself with bots. I did get down 4 times because the hunters kept getting me, and my teammates were way too slow to help, and I did ended up killing 32 hunters by the end of this campaign. After Hunting Party, I did Special Delivery, but instead of doing this by myself, I did this with my friend Spooky. In this mutation, there's no common infected, it's just special infected, and they spawn multiple at a time, so you are constantly getting attacked by spitters, hunters, etc. Apartments took a few tries, but after doing some speedrun strats I saw on YouTube a couple days prior, it made it a lot faster. We made it to the elevator after many attempts, but now we were downstairs and it was harder. This took us many attempts just to do this part. It also didn't help that the fire was really bright because of my shaders I had on, so it was a bit difficult to see. We finally made it safe room to start the next chapter, the streets. On one of our attempts, the street, a tank spawned and we actually killed it. We did run into many witches, but only one time we set one off. Coach was not helping us at all, even though we were literally screaming at him to help. We made it to the mall safe room after delivering the cola to Whitaker, after we used his guns to help us during the panic event. The mall chapter was actually really easy, and we did this on our first try, but I did die, but Spooky made it to the safe room. The finale was a big pain in the arse. The specials that were the biggest pain were the pinning infected, the charger, the hunter, the jockey, and the smoker. The spitter was also a pain as well, especially if she spat on an incapacitated survivor. We did end up doing this we ended up giving up after doing this campaign for an hour and a half. The most gas cans we got up to in the car was 7, so we say this is a failed attempt. After our failed attempt of Special Delivery, we played Rocket Dude, a very fun mutation. In this mutation, you get a grenade launcher with unlimited ammo, and it does little to no damage to yourself and your teammates. You can actually rocket jump with the grenade launcher, just like Team Fortress 2. This was a very fun mutation to play, probably my favorite mutation I have ever played out of this entire video. I see this mutation a lot in speedruns, because it does have a lot of speedruns connected to it, because there is a counter inside the game. You race against your teammates to the safe room. Whoever gets the fastest time wins. I did this with Spooky once again. If you shoot cars, they go flying like a tank hit them, which was pretty funny to do once in a while. And it actually got me knocked a few times. We played this on the parish. We did die a lot in the second chapter because of the tight corridors. There was also these weird mushrooms that gave you either more health, speed boost, double jump, or you lose health. You don't get any med kits in this mutation. You only get pills and adrenaline shots. You start off with 200 health. And if you get capacitated, you can crawl. And if you kill a special infected, you get revived. Pinning infected were our worst enemy because if you get pinned, basically it's game over. So a 10-second timer will start if you and whoever is on your team gets pinned. Then the chapter restarts. The bridge was really fun. I made it to the helicopter, but Spooky wasn't so lucky. She ended up falling in the water and dying. The next day, me, Spooky, and Average, which is a viewer of mine, all played this mutation called Headshot. In this mutation, you can only headshot common infected to do damage to them, but special infected can still take damage to body shots, so you don't have to worry about aiming for the head on a special infected. We played this on Dark Carnival, which in my opinion is one of the hardest maps in Left 4 Dead 2. I got 2 achievements, Fried, Piper, and Stash Whacker. I also tried going for the Gong Show and the main attraction, but it turns out I already have those 2 achievements. I killed Coach 2 times because I think it's pretty funny killing the bots when they are on low health. Me and Spooky tried doing a rocket launch with the grenade launcher. We succeeded, but I went way too far up in the sky and fell to my death. In the finale, Spooky and Coach ended up dying right as the helicopter came, but me and Average escaped, and that was basically it for Headshot. This was absolutely terrifying. The only infected that spawn is tanks. Up to 4 tanks can spawn at a time. Me, Coach, and Average got incapacitated on our first run, which left Spooky the last one alive, and this was before we even got to the boat across the lake in Swamp Fever. I used the grenade launcher for majority of this campaign, which was really smart because the grenade launcher does a ton of damage to the tanks. In the finale, we used this area inside the house that was kind of like a god spot. It did help us a ton in finishing the campaign. There was a 10-minute timer at the top of the screen for when Virgil would arrive at the boat dock, but every single time you would kill a tank, the timer would be reduced, and it was really good. And when Virgil arrived at the boat docks, we made a run for it. Right before we got to the boat, I shot and killed Average. Why? Because of the content, baby. Woohoo! We played this on Dead Center. In this mutation, your team gets a gnome, so one person has to carry the gnome at all times. If the gnome is not in someone's hand while they are in the safe room, the next level will not proceed until the gnome is in someone's hand. So if the gnome is all the way across the map, you're gonna have to go all the way back to get it. We finished this campaign in under 20 minutes. We filled the car up right as the first tank spawned, and honestly, this coach guy, he was quite carrying us, to be honest with you. This mutation gives you LMGs with unlimited ammo, which is really overpowered to be honest, but it's quite fun. And the only infected that spawn is boomers, common infected, tanks, and witches. Me and Average played this on No Mercy, and we found a Pop-Tart box for some reason. I think it was because of our mods, and we found it really funny. You absolutely destroy any tank you come across in seconds. But I had to make sure that tank was dead, so I shot him a few more times. Some witches incapacitated me because I thought the LMG would kill them in a few seconds, but I guess I was wrong. I kept getting the indicator to stay out of the line of fire, so I proceeded to shoot Average with my LMG. This mutation was a fun mutation to play, and honestly, it was really chill. I really enjoyed it. So, if you haven't, try this mutation out. It's really chill. In this mutation, you and your teammates all get katanas. No guns, just katanas. Me and Average played this mutation on Death Toll. Every time I saw a propane tank, I would say, I wonder if this blows up, and then I would proceed to swing at it, causing it to blow up in my face. It was quite funny. Average kept getting jumped by a charger, which I found pretty funny as well. Witches and tanks are scary to fight because you don't have any guns, just swords. While I was getting choked by a smoker, a witch bumped into me, setting me free after killing Francis. I forgot that witches can do that. Another time I was getting choked by a smoker, so we just sat there and watched me get choked. I kept trying to get the lickety split achievement. I couldn't time it right, so there were many times a smoker got a hold of me because of this. In this mutation has a realism aspect to it, so there are no outlines for weapons or your teammates. There are fewer ammo piles, so you will have to switch out your weapon a few times throughout the campaign. If you or your teammates die, the only way to get revived is from defibrillator, unless your team or you makes it to the safe room, then you respawn next chapter. Me and Average played this 2 times. The first one we played on was Dead Air. Then on the second run, we played the Sacrifice. I was AFK for most of the first run. I felt bad for Average, but he didn't mind. In chapter 2, I tried crowning a witch, but I forgot about the increased health on the infected, so I died. Then we made it up to chapter 3 of Dead Air before we died to a tank. The tank hit Average with a car, causing him to get incapped, and then I tried hiding behind a van, but the car curved around the van, hitting me, causing our run to end. So we tried again, but this time on the Sacrifice. We made it up to chapter 2, but Average died trying to counter a witch, Francis got jumped, and Zoe also got killed by a witch. I got pinned by a charger right outside the safe room, so our run ended. So this was a failed attempt of another mutation. This mutation gives everyone on your team chainsaws with unlimited fuel, and that's basically it for explaining it. Me and Average played this on the parish. Average and I kept chainsawing each other because it was quite funny to do it. On the bridge, me and Average made the cross in under 3 minutes. The tank fell off the bridge, And also, a hunter also jumped off the bridge. It was quite funny. Average and I got one achievement each. I got the convert this achievement. It's on screen. And he got the bridge over slaughter. Yeah, it's on screen as well. uh. This mutation is the same as last Gnome on Earth, but in this mutation, everyone has temporary health that slowly ticks down as time goes on. Average rolled crash course on our wheel of maps. We thought this was going to be easy, but we were wrong. Because our two bot teammates will not pick up the gnomes, so they will always die no matter what. The finale is really hard because you have no health at all and you have to rely on a gnome for health. Tanks kept killing us throughout the entire run. In one of the runs, a tank hit a car and incapacitated me, Zoe, and Lewis. But Average was a fucking god. He killed the tank and killed a smoker before he was grabbed by the smoker, and he revived us just in time. We gave up on our fifth attempt, causing this to be another failed mutation. Me and Average played this on Blood Harvest, and this mutation is just like Special Delivery, except there is common infected. Chapter 2 was a big pain in the ass because of the bridge panic event. On the first run of this chapter, there's a witch under the bridge, so when I pulled the lever to get the train to hit the bridge to knock it down, it hit the witch, causing the witch to get mad at me and incapacitate me. In the final chapter, I didn't even realize there was a tank until he died, which was pretty funny. We actually made it to the truck, so this wasn't a failed mutation. In this mutation, there are no medkits, there are only pain pills. You cannot get incapacitated, instead you just die instantly, and you have to wait until the next chapter to spawn. Me and Spooky played this on the passing campaign. In chapter 1, I tried getting the achievement to crown the witch at the wedding, but Coach set her off instead. But he somehow didn't die. Bro is just a god or something. But he did die to a witch later on in the chapter, which was quite funny to me. I also saw the Midnight Riders tour van drive by. In chapter 2, me, Coach, and Nick died, but Spooky made it to the safe room just in time. In the finale, the Left 4 Dead 1 survivors can actually give you medkits, so we used those to our advantage. We finished the campaign riding away to the sunset. In this mutation, the only special infected that spawn are the Boomer, the Spitter, the Tank, and the Witch. But the spawns of the Spitter and Boomer are increased by a lot, more than 3 spawn at a time for both infected. This was harder than we thought it would be. I don't know why, but I thought it would be a good idea to play this on Coldstream, but oh boy, that was a horrible mistake. In the second chapter, at the part where the tank spawns and the giant rock flies down the cliff, hidden Spooky and incapacitating them. Everyone else in my team had tier 2 weapons, while I still had a tier 1 weapon. There were many times where we would have had to leave our teammates and make a run for the safe room because how many boomers and spitters there were. In chapter 3, I died to a spitter, so Spooky was on their own with the bots. We made it to the final chapter, but we died so many times, especially because of the tank that kept spawning. There was one time where I did make it past the tank and almost made the helicopter, but I got cornered and died, so we gave up, calling this another failed attempt. This mutation is just basically Left 4 Dead 1 but Left 4 Dead 2. There are no spitters, no chargers, no jockeys, and no boomer bile. Me and Average played this on No Mercy because it's a Left 4 Dead 1 mode, so we gotta play it on a Left 4 Dead 1 map. I killed Silly and Francis at one point because it's funny. Can we get a hashtag stop AI hate in the comments for all the bullying I did to the bots on our team throughout this entire video? I saw this one cool trick on YouTube where you could skip a part in the skyscraper part in chapter 3, but it did not work so well. The tank was looking really good, so I tried rizzing him up, but it didn't work so well. He hit me, also a fly through in my webcam, which I found really funny. In this mutation, you get temporary health. It ticks down the whole time. There are no med kits at all, only pain pills, adrenaline shots, and occasional defibrillators. It's kind of like Death's Door in a way. Me and Average played this on Swamp Fever. While we were going across the river with the boat, a jockey jumped into the water and died, and it was pretty funny. His body went flying. Rochelle was low in health behind us, so I said, "Do you think Rochelle's gonna die back there?" And then I shot her, because, for the memes. A witch was chasing me to the safe room, but I shut the door right in her face and I was screaming because it was really freaking scary. I also shot a tank's rock in mid-air, causing me to get the Rocky Horror Picture Throw achievement. In the finale, a jockey killed Coach and Rochelle at the exact same time that confused me, but we saved them from a rescue closet minutes later. Average told me there was two tanks. My exact reaction was, wait, there's two tanks? When I was incapacitated, a tank was slamming me, but on my screen, it looked like it was trying to hit Coach, but when I died to the tank, I was confused. But I saw it in the kill feed. It said tank killed twitch.tv/fog_ballistic. So I was like, alrighty then. This mutation is just like normal Left 4 Dead 2, but your gun stats get tracked throughout the entire campaign. We can figure out how to show our guns stats, sadly, so me and Average just played this like it's normal Left 4 Dead 2, and we played this on Dead Center, but that's basically it for Gunbrain, to be honest with you. In this mutation, you start in the finale of a map. So, for example, in Dead Center, you just fill up all the fuel in Jimmy Gibbs Jr.'s car, and the first person to make it to the escape vehicle wins. Me, Average, and a viewer of mine, Spartan, played this on the Passion. I chose this map because all you have to do is run for the car across the bridge after filling up the generator. After we all filled up the generator, we all went to the bridge waiting for it to lower, but Average had an adrenaline shot, so he used that to his advantage. He also threw a Molotov at all three of us, so he lost a bunch of health. To no one's surprise, Average made it to the car first and won the mutation. This was the last co-op mutation I had to do. In this mutation, you're the only person on your team. No common infected spawn at all. It's just special infected. But you do get a second chance if you do get incapacitated. You instantly get released from whatever has a hold of you, and you get put the temporary 30 health with the black and white screen. The only way you get back all your health is by healing with a medkit, so it gets reset. I streamed me doing this, and it was quite fun, but my viewers were bullying me. This was really scary to play since you are all alone. Tanks and jockeys were the most scary infected out of all of them. I played this on Death Toll. In Chapter 1, I died twice because I wasn't used to not having teammates. In Chapter 2, where you have to wait for the church guy to open the door, I thought I was going to die because of how long it was taking for him to open the door. I was screaming at him to open the door because of how scared I was, but no special infected spawned while I was waiting, which was really lucky. The shotgun was my best friend while playing this mutation. I also got an achievement called Get Skidded On. To get this achievement, you have to kill a Pouncing Hunter with a shotgun. This is the last mutation I had to play. In this mutation, it is just like Last Man on Earth, but you only get a Desert Eagle. The only special infected that spawn are the Boomer, the Witch, and the Tank. Common infected do spawn, and they are quite annoying to deal with. I died so many times in Chapter 2 of the Parish, and I kept raging, which was really funny. Well, in my run, my smoke alarm randomly went off because a fly flew into the smoke alarm, and it scared the crap out of me. Chapter 3 was a big pain in the ass because of the panic event with the chapter. A witch or tank would spawn so many times during this chapter, so it made it even harder. But after so many attempts, I finally got past it. When I got to the finale on the bridge, I finished it on the first try. Adrenaline shots were my absolute best friend. I outran the tank and made it to the helicopter, finishing all the mutations. Welp, that's it, folks. That's every Left 4 Dead 2 mutation besides Versus, Survival, and Scavenge mutations. This video was a ton of fun to make. I really enjoyed playing Left 4 Dead 2 again. I'm going to be uploading more on this channel of other games like God of War, Life is Strange, Left 4 Dead 2, and so much more. So make sure to subscribe and help me reach 100 subscribers on this channel. Also subscribe to my main channel and help me reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. And also join the Discord and follow the Twitch. Everything is linked in the description. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Expect more videos on this channel and some more Left 4 Dead 2 videos on here as well. Have a great day. Peace.